Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. Hello, how's everybody doing?
Hello.
Good afternoon, all. Except for you on the West Coast, there it's. Oh wait, no, it is just afternoon now, isn't it? Well, welcome, California. I'm glad you woke up.
Orius Arif, and with a Chinese character that reads "return," at least according to Google Translate. These a couple of nobodies. I don't know who these people are. It's Jenni Morgan. I don't know.
Tilting Windmill, that is Petunia. Petunia was Slothgirl's cat, so now I'm taking care of her.
I was surprised to find that this is an actual day. Thought this was one that you made up.
No, yeah, actually, this was the first one that came up when I did the search for holidays today.
Damn.
Kyle! Kyle's here.
Kyle.
We don't get graced by Kyle too
and
much
Ember.
at all.
And Tilted Windmill. Bunch of good people in the chat.
Yeah, we've got Ember there.
I got my cup of noodles.
Okay.
Yep, I am drinking my tea as hot as I can possibly stand it today because my apartment is chilly, and even when I've been running the heater on high all day for the last couple of days, it is not getting warm enough in here because the windows leak.
I'm kind of facing that same thing.
How is it that northern Florida is getting blizzard warnings? We do not get blizzards in northern Florida. We do not get blizzards in Florida. That's not a thing.
We've decided to change your climate. And this is just our first gift in a series.
Wait,
keep it.
A blizzard warning means you're getting snow. So why are you getting snow and I'm not?
I don't know. I'm getting rain where I'm at, which kind of sucks because you have the cold, the breeze, and wet. So that's a combination I do not like. Oh, Demon Orb. Hello.
Well, my lovely home state of Wisconsin is sending snow plowing equipment down to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I heard that Nashville was, getting, well, it was only like 3 inches, but it was more snow than they could handle because they only had like one snowplow for the entire county.
Yeah, well, now you guys are going to get to see how snow plowing is actually done. The pros are coming down.
I hate to think of how all the car accidents for all the people who are not used to driving it is going to be.
Well, not used to driving in it, and not having the right kind of tires for it too.
That too, yeah.
Just people don't have the equipment. They haven't had any need for individuals or for the cities to invest in the equipment to handle 3 inches of snow.
I imagine a lot of them probably don't have the clothes for it either.
Yeah, I can imagine a lot of them don't really have winter coats.
And most of all, they just don't have the intestinal fortitude.
Well, when you're acclimated to 80-degree weather, what do you expect?
Well,
hey, we get up into the triple digits in the summer. We get down way below zero in the winter. We adjust to it. Twice every year we make that adjustment.
Well, that's
just like daylight savings time.
That's what my avatar is all about. I'm celebrating Florida. I moved down there to Florida, and I'm way down by the Keys. So Mage didn't know I was here, but that's where I took this picture. I decided I was going to get out there and enjoy the sun. So,
okay, why does Florida have all the Keys when all the locks are in the Great Lakes?
They're on the Mississippi.
I have tea that is almost burning the roof of my mouth, and I'm loving it.
Lovely. There's like a little story from my dad here. He was driving, and the roads had become slick with from ice and snow, and he hit the brakes and just started sliding.
Yeah.
So he had a parked cop car right in front of him, and two other cars like on either side, and he slid right between the two cars and hit the cop car. Now, fortunately, he was going to be in big trouble, but fortunately, there was another cop car off to the side, parked off to the side, who saw the whole thing. And he said, "Yeah, you did a good job. There was no way for you to stop. You did a good job not hitting anyone else." So he actually got off, okay about it.
Okay, all you new snow bunnies. When it comes to driving, we have the first rule for amateurs snow driving: you do not have brake pedals. Because if you're going fast enough that you need to use the brake, you're going too fast.
Yeah. Actually, the last time I got in an accident was I was driving in Wisconsin, down in Slothgirl's hometown. And intersection with the four-way stop, and I started stopping at the opposite end of the block as soon as I got moving. But I came to the intersection, slid right through, did a 180, and hit a parked car.
Bummer.
So nothing I could do there. I parked my car. I called the cops. Cop car coming to investigate comes to the same intersection, spins around, does a 180, and comes about 3 inches from hitting the same car I did. So I didn't get a ticket. The cop wrote it up to the weather.
Well, that's nice. Cops can be your friend sometimes.
Yeah, well, he's like, damn, I did the same thing you did. I can't blame you for it.
Excuse my cough, people. I still got crap in my lungs from the cold I had last week.
Yeah, that can linger for a long time.
I'm still dealing with a little twinge in my throat from all the coughing I did back in September.
Yeah, I've still got a bit of it. I haven't shaken off either.
The weirdest thing I've been going through, I've never had this happen. I imagine people with allergies do. Is I've been sneezing. I'll go through these 15, 20 minute sneezing jags where that's all I can do is sneeze, 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 sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I decided I liked sneezes because they kind of felt good, and they're getting a little tired now. I don't need to do 100 a day.
I never felt like the feeling of sneezes.
At times, a sneeze can feel almost like a tiny orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
Never had that.
That's exactly what I think of it as, a nasal orgasm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not into nasal sex.
All right. For
we can make jokes about men who are small enough to do that, but
today's day we have answer your cat's questions day.
Yeah.
What questions do your cats have? Meow 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 meow.
Well, the most frequent question of "Isn't it time to eat?"
Oh yes.
Meow 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 meow.
Yeah, Petunia has more complex questions because her life has been rough, and I think on some level she is still grieving. Because at some nights she's still begging me at the door to go back upstairs.
Amber, why do you want to pet Mort?
Pet Mort, I don't know. Let's see, there is some discrepancy over when the first wildcats were domesticated. People in the Near East were definitely living with house kids by in 7,500 BC, and by the 19th century, they were developing different breeds of cats. In ancient Egypt, cats were more than just friends. They were used for social and religious practices, considered beloved and holy house pets. Cats were so revered. They were mummified. Well, actually, they were mummified. They were killed and mummified. So that kind of sad for the cats. With the same indignity as human, means besides that many of the Egyptian god had heads of cats and body of humans. You can't get much closer than that. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, the cats being killed and mummified sounds like, just really some rabid religious crusader saying, "I'm sending you on to your god."
An important note to take out of that thing that Mage just went through is that early up in there, the cat was referred to as a domesticated creature, which is true. Notice, though, it doesn't use the word tame.
Yes.
There's a reason for that.
Yep.
You can't tame a cat.
They domesticated themselves twice. In fact.
Yep. Yeah, because with agricultural society, when we started storing big piles of grain, that of course attracted rodents like mice and rats. So the cats came around to get the mice and rats, and we were more than happy to, let them do that for us.
See, the Middle Ages were a dark barking cats collecting collective record with rules at the time, and believing cats to be the cause of the Black Death that ravaged Europe. Little did they know that cats were more likely to keep the population of rats and fleas in check. Nevertheless, the damage to their reputation was done, and cats wouldn't restore their public image until the 15th or 16th century, when they were welcomed on the broad ships to keep pests away. It's often speculated that cats were aboard Christopher Columbus's ship, and our feline friend disembarked and flourished in America.
Yeah, well, they're not sure exactly when cats were first domesticated, but the first concrete proof we have is that there is an archaeological site in Turkey where they've actually found cats buried with humans, and that dates back about 10,000 years ago.
Well, they have sarcophagus, and actually no, they were mostly like vessels, pots, or whatever, jars that they may have in Egypt with cat remains.
Yeah, well, just the burials, though.
Right next to the wife, Keep the pussies together.
The burials, though, prove that 10,000 years ago, people were regarding cats as being more than just, feral animals that were helping them. They were actually regarding them kind of as being part of their family.
Let's see here. By 1993, cats outnumbered dogs as the most popular house pet in the nation, and they're appreciated, you'd say, for their curiosity, independence, and intelligence, and for all their many, many questions.
That was a temporary psychosis, and now dogs are the best again.
Yeah, they're number one again. Interesting.
That's what I heard. Wasn't exactly recently, and that makes sense. I mean, who really honestly wants to have a cat? People think they want to have a cat. They get a cat, and then they start complaining about things like, "Oh, this litter box smells. Oh, the cat goes on my litter box and then jumps up onto my kitchen counters, and I eat that bacteria. Ugh."
No, I don't complain about cats. I understand they have their ways, which aren't always 100% in line with my interests, but I'm willing to make some accommodations for them, especially since the kitties keep me alive.
Your cats can do like CPR?
Well, we were trying to teach Petunia to dial 911, but that never quite worked out. But just when I get in my bad depression phase, sometimes it comes down to the only reason I get out of bed is somebody's got to feed the cats.
See, now I taught my German Shepherd how to say to dial the phone, but unfortunately, when they dial 911, all they could do is bark, and they thought it was a joke call, so it was kind of wasted effort. But she was good at it.
No, actually, if 911 is dialed and they don't hear a human voice, They send responders out to check on who lives there.
Oh well, looking according to this, yeah, dogs are on top now again with 65.1 million, and cats are second at 46.5 million.
Yeah.
Freshwater fish 11.1 million.
I think the problem we had with getting Petunia to dial 911 is when we dialed 911, they usually came and took her mommy away, and they didn't give her any treats.
Yeah, that's a problem. Let's see here, small animals, basically like your rabbits, rodents and whatever, is at 6.7 million. Birds are at 6.1 million. Reptiles are at 6 million. Horses are at 2.2 million. That's interesting.
How many?
Oh, horses. And
how many?
Then we have 2.2 million.
Okay.
And we have another 2.2 million for saltwater fish. I would not expect horses to be on that list.
Okay,
oh gosh, I would. Yeah, I absolutely. There's a lot of people there, and they're hungry.
I can't read the text. So does the one under rabbits, is that like all rodents or?
Yeah, it's all small animals.
Okay.
Including guinea pigs?
I imagine, yeah, guinea pigs, ferrets.
Guinea.
Yeah,
it's actually a British name, Guinea.
Whatever.
I actually
there's
think
a little
that
chart. I missed the chart.
Yeah.
No,
I think that ferrets and weasels are actually on the upswing as pets in the last couple of years.
Ferrets are great pets. I used to have one. If I ever got one, I'd want to get a pair of them. Like if I ever got more.
It is good to have more than one. You know, they are social in that respect. But
now that we're the pet of the White House, all of us, we belong to them, and we get to do whatever they demand of us.
You know, the White House pet is billionaires.
No, that's I think a mutual. No, no. The fucking fat guy is in charge of all of it. They're all afraid of the little fucker. God, I want to slap his ass. I should not get going on this.
Slap his ass and call him Susie?
Yeah. Tilting Windmills, my friend had his dogs cremated and has the little boxes up. I gave my cats a natural burial in the forest preserve. Actually, that was my two fiancés' cats when they died. But for every cat I've had, I've kept some keepsakes, a collar or a favorite toy.
Yeah.
So I have some reminders for like every cat I've had over the last 30 years.
Oh, back in the 60s, tried to keep up with popular fads. And so at one point I had on my keyring, I had a cat's paw on my keyring. Everybody used to do that, right?
Oh, ick.
No.
Come on,
a lot of people had a rabbit's paw, though.
Those are rabbits? Oh, fuck.
Which I didn't think was any better. I never understood why people thought an amputated part of an animal was good luck. It obviously was not good luck for the animal.
Was it only good luck after it's been amputated?
Yeah. Ember has a point. That chart didn't account for spiders. You know, virtually everyone has spiders living with them.
No one is. You're never further away than 10 feet from a spider.
Yeah, but are they pets?
Well, at one point, they even discovered a spider on the International Space Station that it had somehow stowed away in the cargo of one of the flights.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah. Well, they found it fascinating to watch, you know. Apparently, zero gravity did affect the spider's perceptions, and it couldn't spin its standard web. The web was all kind of random and jaggedy.
Oh, yeah.
Because it couldn't tell which direction was down.
A spider depends on gravity to get its web started.
Right. Yeah, that was the thing. The spider couldn't tell which direction was down, so it was a rather random pattern.
I mean, that's just an opinion. I don't know any fact about that, but it would seem to me that if you're going to make, especially if you're an orb spider and you want to make one of those cool classic circular webs,
Yep.
that you'd have to have some sense of direction somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of spiders, to get the web started, start it by swinging on a long line to attach to the other end. So, without gravity, that pendulum thing doesn't really work the same way.
See, that fits the other thing I heard about spiders, is that most of them came from the circus.
Well, that's because they ate the flea circus.
And where did the concept of flea circus ever have to start? I just don't get that.
It was penny entertainment.
Well, you got the spider in space.
Yep.
Really? Well, it did pretty decent.
Thanks for finding a picture of that. I didn't know there were pictures of it.
Doesn't look like an orb spider, though.
Yeah, I wonder what species that is, because different species have been very different types of webs.
Well, I thought orb spiders were the only ones who did the circular shape. I don't know that, but I thought that it was. But an orb spider has a big round butt.
This is a gold orb spider.
Really?
Okay, so it is in that family.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of different types of orbs.
Yeah, so it was trying to spin a nice, neat spiral, and that's what it wound up with.
Yeah.
Okay, tilting at windmills had a point on your graph. Under reptiles, they showed a frog.
Yeah, that's true. Should have been some actual reptile, not as an amphibian thing. Yeah.
Yes, and be careful. If your weasels find a trench coat, they might get a doctorate and start arguing about magnets.
I got to sit down and watch Primer, which was what Tapioca Weasel recommended. It said something about that movie, so I watched it.
Careful, weasels don't find a trench coat. I get a doctorate after that. I just don't get it.
It's a joke about Bad Science Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I've never seen that, so.
I thought you'd been on it.
Dr. Tapioca
Weasel. I thought you were talking to some TV show. Yes, I have been on it once. But I didn't know they, had weasels dressed up in trench coats.
Yep. Well, and Dr. Tapioca Weasel is, in fact, a boggle.
Oh, hey, I saw, you mentioned weasels, so I have to interrupt and share this story. I saw a video a few days ago on TikTok, I believe. It was before the shutdown. And it was this little ocean weasel that came running up to some people. And it just started like acting like, a cat running between your legs and those kinds of things or something. Just it got their attention, and it started to run away. And I guess one of the guys decided it would follow the thing, and he followed it to outside in the harbor where its mate was caught in a fishing net, and so the human got the otter out of there, and all was well. Back with its mate. And then as the guy started leaving, the male otter came running up to him again. Well, not running. He comes swimming up to him at the pier, and he gives him a stone.
Oh,
is that just the most precious thing ever?
Thank you for helping us.
Yeah, I mean that's just wonderful.
Yeah.
The movie was called Primer. It's a movie about time travel. These guys build a time traveling device in their garage.
I haven't seen that one.
And it's actually is fairly consistent with their actually in the time how they do the time traveling. It's actually fairly consistent.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've read instructions on how to build a time machine?
No, I mean within the how the time travel works in the movie there.
Oh, I see. The
How-
paradox.
Yeah.
I have read instructions on how to build the time machine, but damn it, every time I go to the O'Reilly catalog, the flex capacitor is out of stock.
Mm.
If you don't know what Perp's talking about, go to O'Reilly Auto Parts on the web and look up the what's that thing again?
The flex capacitor.
The flux capacitor.
Yep.
They have them listed.
They have a picture of it with the catalog number, but it's just always listed as out of stock.
Do you also have blinker fluid?
Probably. Yeah, windmills. I get what you mean about not burying them in the backyard where they'd probably be disturbed by a later tenant. I took mine out and I buried both of them. They died like a year and a half apart, but I buried them both under the same tree in the forest preserve because I knew nobody was going to disturb them there.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what I'll do with Molly after she passes.
Well, the thing about having them cremated, and a lot of people are doing the thing of like getting some of the ashes put into a locket. Or the extreme one that costs way more is that they can actually compress the ashes into an artificial gemstone.
I suppose you could ship it to J.D. Vance. He knows what to do with things like that.
I thought he was only good at decapitating animals.
Actually, as a keepsake thing, I'd probably get another cuddle clone.
Yeah.
They're expensive little plushies, but nice to have.
Yeah, you said about that you got one of your last bird.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Tilting. How big are the orb spiders? Jeez.
Well, I was gonna say when we were in New York, we had one that kept spinning a web between the fence and the garden shed, and as far as I could stretch my hand out, its legs would have still been longer than the length of my fingers.
Well, I have that one picture I've showed before of that garden spider that I came across up here.
But
I would say it was as big as my palm, and I have fairly large hands.
Yeah.
But not my fingers. That's a fucking 9-inch spread I have with my fingers.
Yeah, well, I would say that this one had like an 8-inch leg spread. And the thing that I found amazing was that they spin a new web every night, and this one kept spinning a web between the garden shed and the fence, and that was a span of about 9 feet.
That should give you an idea of how big it is.
Yeah, those are a different species from what we had, because the one I had was mostly yellow and had hardly any black on it. And
the one on the left is about how big? Well, a little bigger than the spider I took that picture of. If there's any spider freaks out in the chat and you want to see the picture, just say so, and I'll give it to Midge to upload.
Oh, if you got a picture of it, do. Yeah.
All right, I'll be back.
Oh, hi, Maya.
Why always be back? Why not be front?
Yep. Yeah. I was saying that the correct term for Dr. Tapioca weasel is a boggle. Because I have recently found out that boggle is the correct term for a group of weasels.
That seems to make sense.
And I learned that a group of cockroaches is called an intrusion.
Oh, God.
That
Did
also
you lose
sounds...
a kitty recently? I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay, it's in the whatever you call the damn thing.
the DM group.
Yep.
All right. Pulling it up.
They're really pretty. The
It is a
garden
very pretty
spider.
pic. It is a very pretty picture. It's a good picture.
I didn't have any close-up lens, so I had to
Oh yeah.
get my face about a foot away from it. But
It works.
Yeah, but
they're harmless. I know that. I'm not worried or
yeah,
scared
Jenny, your
too
photography is
much.
just always so amazing.
It's not going to jump a foot into your face. It's
Yeah,
from the
that
web.
you got the detail. Well, orb weavers are the kind of spider that they will just sit in their web and wait for something to hit the web.
Yeah, they're lazy.
I saw a thing.
They're not lazy. You consider the size of that web and the size of the spider.
I don't remember what show it was. If it was a PBS show about spiders or about
Hello.
ultraviolet vision or whatever that, but orb spiders kind of keep the center of it open without the cross weaving.
Yes.
And then there's like four little kind of almost dart shaped things that point to the center, and they said something about them being fluorescing in ultraviolet, and the spider can see ultraviolet, and insects can see ultraviolet, and for somehow they like follow the darts into the middle of the web, and I don't get it, but there was some story like that.
Yeah, these spiders can make some of the strands of the web ultraviolet, so they can put patterns into it that attract insects.
Well, I wish I had ultraviolet poop.
Yep.
And if you notice, spiders actually will stand on the webbing that goes out, then the little connector pieces that make the orb, remember, is the sticky stuff. So they're not actually touching the sticky spider webbing.
Yeah.
And you can actually kind of see it in this picture, in fact, how all the legs are touching the ones going outwards. From the center.
Yeah, not the spiraling strands.
Yeah.
And what Jenny was saying about them leaving a hole in the center, they do that so that they can, quickly move to the other side of the web if something threatens them or if something hits the opposite side of the web.
No, just a moment. You'd have to have read the spider web spinning manual to know that. That's secret information.
Well, there's... Oh, I keep forgetting the guy's name, but he does that series, The Spiders in Your House, and he's given all of this stuff away.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to demote him.
Yeah, he imprisons spiders and interrogates them until they give up all their secrets.
I'm calling the Humane Society.
Or I get what you mean. That it just seems like stuff you can't remember how to do it.
Yeah. Brain doesn't want a brain.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's really frustrating that you remember, you can remember the whole experience of learning this, but you can't remember what you actually learned.
We have here. Lost Slackjaw in mid-December. Your car up here then the following Monday night. As I recall, she kneeled over and pushed her head into my arm. It felt like a cat. More specifically, like that cat. Oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry, and it's especially hard when you can't be there with them for their last days.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset with one of the cats I had. It was more of an outdoor cat. There was no way of keeping that cat indoors, and so he just disappeared. I think either somebody picked him up or a coyote got him.
Yeah, well, that's one of the 3 cats I had redomesticated from the colony in New York. About 4 or 5 months before I moved, I just didn't see him anymore. I never knew what happened to him. But he was one of those 2 that he was never going to be fully a house cat. he had to be able to go out at any time he wanted to. Actually, he never even got close enough to let me pet him. He would stay in the room with me, but he would always stay just out of range. And Slothgirl is the only person who actually got to pet him. That when she came to visit, for some reason, he was okay with getting close enough to her. Even though I had been feeding him for 3 years. But yeah, he was just very suspicious of people.
Mm.
And I think somebody had tried to poison him at some point because he was weirdly suspicious of tuna. If I put tuna fish down, he would just give it one sniff and he would back away from it like it was a threat.
Interesting.
Oh boy.
Although I wouldn't be surprised in that neighborhood if there were people who were trying to poison the feral cats.
That sucks.
Yeah, well, in that house, the back gate actually opened right onto the city park. That it was just a strip along this creek. That it was only like a few thousand feet wide, but it was like half a mile long. And we had all kinds of wildlife there, and most people weren't aware of it because the stuff comes out at night. But yeah, that's at midnight. I'd see deer walking the streets.
So you had streetwalker deer. How much did they charge an hour?
I don't know. I was too broke to ask.
Oh, look at the streetwalkers, deer. Yeah, the cats are on the next block. Oh, sorry.
Hey, I got free pussy out of it.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 2 cats that I had brought back from New York with me, they both died during the time I was trapped in Michigan.
Yeah.
So that's when I got Sammy. Actually, after I lost one of the 2, and I still had Fiona, that's when I got Sammy's son from the shelter in Michigan.
Deer?
So,
Deer?
Oh my gosh. Now wait a minute. Those are power lines.
Yeah, she's stuck in a power line.
Was she
okay, well, it's a
parachuting or
good thing
something?
antlers aren't conductors.
I'm not really sure what the story is. I just recently came across this one.
Huh.
Actually, just this morning, I ran across a cute but rather weird animation that, it was like, like this woman and the child was like some kind of AI, but it also had the ability to transform from a child into a bumblebee or something.
Okay.
It was weird, but it was cute, and there's a priceless line from that I'm going to keep and I'm going to use over and over on my family. That the child said, "If you wanted a normal daughter, why did you have me?"
Well, I watched the 3rd episode of Wandering Sun. So far, I think the manga's been better, but
This is a current anime that you're watching?
yeah.
So did the rest of you get to watch Deadpool and Wolverine, or were you still waiting for me?
Still waiting for you guys. Greg wasn't really up for it, and nobody was really showing. So
Okay, well, I feel bad for Jenny then, because she's been trying to watch it every week, and we've been holding her off.
Life's tough, then you die.
Okay,
let's get to two of the 3 of you.
Okay, I will definitely. I will try to catch a nap in the afternoon to make sure I could stay awake through it tomorrow night.
You fucking better, or I'm going to show up at your apartment.
I'm also having some possible other plans for the weekend. I'm not really too sure. But, well, you can go into that later for the announcements at the end. But,
Yeah. Oh, Rebecca.
no, but it's for a recap on Wandering Sun. That's basically the story of a trans girl who meets a trans boy in middle school, and it's kind of their journey together.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. It's really I showed you some of the strips from the manga. Remember if you remember?
Actually,
yeah.
it sounds like one of those scripts that helped Trump win.
No, it's actually really. You see, I showed you the manga. What the hell are you talking about? It helped Trump win.
I don't remember it.
It's actually really well done. It actually
Yeah.
does reflect being trans like pretty well.
Yeah, I think Jenny was just referring to letting kids trans while they're in high school.
No, it's actually about someone who actually is trans, and it's not being treated as a fad.
Yeah. Well, I have already been hearing that in some parts of the country, people are having difficulties staying on HRT because they can't get their prescriptions filled where they live.
And that's not even a law. Well, it might be for some states.
It's just they've made the doctors scared of it, and the insurance companies have decided it means they don't have to pay for it anymore.
Well, Medicare still does, so I'm okay.
Yeah, well, I got a notice that I don't quite understand because they use a whole bunch of acronyms they don't explain. So I'm going to have to call and find out about it, but it's something about a change in my health coverage. I don't think it directly affects the HRT, though.
Hope not.
Well, I did just have an appointment with the doctor yesterday, and, he refilled my prescriptions. Everything's going fine there.
But in the last episode of the anime I watched, they were deciding to do a play. And the trans boy, he recommended a gender bent play. So the trans girl was tasked with writing the story, and she decided to do a gender bent Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
Basically, in the gender bent story is all the girl parts are played by boys, and all the boy parts are played by girls.
Okay. I missed something here, Orla. Everyone in America is legally a girl, even Mage?
Oh, that story, yeah.
I don't know what that refers to.
Yeah, I missed this.
That was explained to me in the MidAmerican chat here earlier. I'll pull it up here.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I find it.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were forcing on men who didn't want to be.
It's a misrepresentation, though, of what's being said. It makes it what actually being said makes even less sense.
Yeah, the Republicans excel at that.
This is what they're having to say. The White House was through executive order by the orange shit stain.
Oh,
female means a person belonging at conception into the sex that produces a large reproductive cell. Male meaning a person belonging at conception to the sex that produces the small reproductive cell. So if you really want to go by the exact letter of this, is people, no one is either male or female.
Yeah, because as an infant, no one produces either of these.
But the argument of we're all female is the phenotypically argument is that we all start out female and branch off to that. Well, it's not exactly true. It's kind of that's an overgeneralization of what's actually going on, but that's where the argument's coming from.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, the zygote is not differentiated. It has to wait till some Wolferian duck thing starts working, and then it does whatever genitals is
Yeah,
supposed to. If
yeah,
it's a good kid.
Yeah, it's undifferentiated, and it goes down to either there being ovaries or testicles, and sometimes it gets mixed up or neither.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're going to get very convoluted trying to find a scientific definition that supports all their positions.
Well, no, it won't, because they'll just refer back to what it says on the birth certificate. Whatever the physician who thought he knew everything pronounced you as is what you're stuck with.
Mm-hmm. I have actually heard in some states that just like on our driver's license now we can select male, female, or X. I've heard some states are allowing that on birth certificates, that the parents can leave it non-gendered.
Some are, and Trump already brought an end to that with passports. There is no more X's issued on passports, and then the gender is what your birth certificate says.
Yep, which is one piece I haven't finished yet. I've still got to get my birth certificate changed.
Well,
yeah, I gotta hurry on
I wouldn't
that.
be surprised if we're both too late.
Well, no, he would have to pass it as a federal law.
Yeah, or just write an executive order, because everybody's so fucking scared of this.
Well, I believe what I just pointed out was an executive order, what I just had on screen.
Yes, that's
well,
correct.
Yeah, that's all he's been able to do so far. But yeah, he's got so many executive orders, his hands is wearing out from signing them. He just wants a rubber stamp.
And I believe Texas has banned the change of gender on birth certificates.
I know that some states have.
Or maybe it was Tennessee, maybe both.
Possibly both.
Yeah, well, mine's from Illinois, and so far they've still been on the very liberal side, so. Yep, everyone is equally screwed in the eyes of the law now. And yeah, at that stage it doesn't matter, because the child doesn't even have a concept of male or female yet. Which is kind of an interesting question in itself. It's like, at what age do children actually become aware?
Oh, I was waiting for that.
Who's a boy and who's a girl?
Children generally develop to recognize their gender and label it sometime between the ages of 3 and 7.
Yes.
Okay.
It's also around the same time they start being able to recognize themselves in the mirror as themselves and not another person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I was going to guess it was around age 5, so I was in that range.
And that in and of itself is pretty much the very essence of what trans is all about, because the cis kid will fall in line and they will have the gender identity of a boy or a girl, and the trans kid goes, what? It's like there's a big gap in their head, and whatever they're told they are, they're not, because they feel something wrong. Nobody else feels that for them or sees that with them, but in their head it's there.
That may be why the earliest I'm aware of having some kind of trans thought was at age 6, which probably came with recognizing that my cousin and I were not the same.
That makes sense.
Well, especially since her mother bathed us together, so I could see physical differences. Yeah, that's my aunt who had 3 girls and had always wanted a son, so she kept trying to trade me for her youngest.
How much money involved? And did you get a cut of it?
No, I was like, oh my God, of all the relatives we have, please not her.
Just think of
You
how.
know, I mean, if my mom wanted to trade, her other sister, I would have been fine with that. I
Trying to
wouldn't
get
have minded living with that aunt at all.
trying to get a son, and well, I guess I should get a raw deal with you then, huh?
Yep. Yeah, this probably would have given her a heart attack if she raised me as a boy and I did this. I'm actually wondering how she's taking the news now.
Is she still around, huh?
Oh yeah, I haven't heard from her, since I started transitioning. But, I know she talks to my mom on a regular basis, so I know she's heard about it by now. Granny, the question is, what does your PS3 identify as? And I'm sure that is answered, on the screen when it first boots up. Hey, Samami.
Hello.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother question about
H, be
people who
careful.
are mixed races trying to sort it out.
H, be careful how you're saying things nowadays. The big bad guys do have the ability to basically walk into anything that they want on the internet and read it as it goes by. And they catch people who say things like that in private chats and stuff.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the stream does go public, so anybody could read it.
So just don't make threats like that on the internet.
Yeah.
Even though that's not a threat, it would be interpreted as one.
Yep.
Because we can't take chances. Well, it's only Trump. Of course you can take a chance.
Yeah, they are arguing right now about the gender-based things, but don't worry, they'll get around to arguing about mixed race people pretty soon.
Well, why would they be arguing about stuff like that? I mean, it's not like you act like they're a bunch of Nazis or something.
Did you hear Candace Owen said that dinosaurs are fake and gay? So is this like a new theory on why dinosaurs went extinct because they were all gay and none of them would breed with a different gender?
Oh, that must be it. You act like they're a bunch of Nazis running this thing now. And what would give you that idea? I can't think of a single thing that would give you that idea that we've got a bunch of Nazis in the White House. Can you?
Yeah.
It is thanks to you.
Oh God.
He realized what he did.
Yeah, I can't imagine if my dad was alive today. Because he was in World War II, literally fighting the Nazis.
There are a number of people that I've run into already who are absolutely bloodthirsty because of what he did and have said terrible, violent things towards him.
Yep.
The people are very upset about that.
Oh, yeah.
And so what does the mass media do? Ignore it! Because Trump owns them too.
Well, Fox News is trying to make apologies about it, saying that, he wasn't really doing the salute. He was just putting his heart out to everyone.
Clearly not doing the salute here.
Yeah. No. Doesn't look at all similar.
Doesn't look at nothing the same. Oh, and let's not forget. Hey, Democrats have done it too, right? I mean, and take a look at this. I mean, just look at this clip here. I mean, obviously, the Democrats have been doing this all along too. So why are we just getting on his case? I mean,
who's doing it?
Well, have a look at this clip. I mean, obviously, Democrats are doing in this salute as well. So
thank you, America. God bless you.
See?
God bless these United
Yeah, Obama.
I think that's one of the Patriot boys. That's that's a little uniform that they wear.
So yeah, we got a new Nazi down here in Elon Musk. So for comparison, and we have there's a Harris doing it, and Warren.
Yep.
There's Warren doing it. See, right in the top corner we have.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the bullshit they're trying to pass.
Right there, she's
with,
there.
with Trump pardoning everybody for the January 6th insurrection, he said that all the people
Obama?
carrying Nazi flags were actually FBI agents that were trying to rile up the crowd.
Now that we can see all three comparisons side by side, obviously it's all the same, right?
Yep. But what I want to know is if Trump actually thought that these guys were FBI agents that were trying to do some kind of psyop, why did he then pardon all of them?
Major's another pick to post.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's a good one. Let's see here. Might show that one. There are. So what we have here: call waiter, Nazi, call taxi, pet Marco Rubio, pet dog, rest. And if he's doing this is having his heart out, wouldn't you have your hand turned the other way? Not turned out.
Yeah.
No.
Well, shouldn't the palm of his hand be facing the audience if he's giving them his heart?
Well, it is.
No, I mean, shouldn't it be turned not,
Yeah, shouldn't it be forward instead of down?
Yeah. Should be turned at about, 9-degree angle.
He's a Nazi.
An official Nazi meter, yeah.
The fascist states of America.
Yeah, it's going to be scary as hell here.
Official Nazi meter, there you go.
Yep.
Heathen, there's a rumor that I've heard for just such a long time, since 2015, 2016, when he announced that the reason that Trump hates trans women is because he was quote unquote fooled by one.
Yeah, well, that's an excuse they often use. That's where the trans panic defense comes from.
Mm-hmm. Which is why he wants to discontinue us, as it were.
Maybe that's the deep, dark secret. Maybe Melania's trans, but, since she got him to sign the prenup before he found out, he can't get rid of her without her taking tremendous amounts of his wealth.
I do not ever want to hear you insult trans people that way again.
Oh, come on. You were the one passing around the meme about, Elon Musk having boobs and being trans.
Didn't you see the pictures?
Yes, and I cannot scrub them from my brain.
Elon does have tits.
I think too. You'd rather have Melania than Elon.
Yeah, that's a real tough call.
Jimmy Kimmel did this joke last night, talking about it. That he was talking about, we got everything moved in for Trump to the White House now, and so he's got that as the setup. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting the punchline. Oh yeah, they moved in this and they moved in that. He's talking different pieces of furniture, and they moved in some couch or something referral they made to that. And he said, but they left the plastic wrapping on because in case JD Vance stops by.
Okay, so did they bring all the boxes of documents from Mar-a-Lago back to the White House?
Or are they bringing in the boxes that they took from Mar-a-Lago back to Mar-a-Lago? I'm waiting for that one. They have to go through round 2 of trying to get top secret documents out of his ass again.
I had a thought while Jenny was talking, and now I've lost it.
Heathen gynecomastia. It's a thing that males get. I don't think that they've ever come up with this one specific reason why it happens, but
Yeah.
it does. Typically in preteen or just through puberty, not spontaneously later. Although they also say that if you smoke cannabis, you will be shutting down your testosterone influences and could develop gynecomastia.
Wait a minute. Smoking cannabis can help you grow bigger boobs? Why didn't you tell me that 3 years ago?
Why do you think I've been smoking cannabis since 1971?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't really get a good buzz off of it, but, if I could have grown bigger boobs without surgery, I would have been doing it every day.
Oh, yeah. Orla, I read that. His TV ratings for the inauguration were tanked compared to every other inauguration.
All-time low in the last 12 years.
Yeah. Well, I'm also suspecting they made the excuse to bring it indoors because they knew that he wasn't going to draw a very big crowd. So if they did it indoors, they could say it was filled to capacity and make him feel good.
Yeah, that's probably exactly why they did it.
Yeah.
Except when they go inside, you can count exactly how many people are in there. That's not good either.
Yeah, but they only had a space for at something like 700 people or something. Whereas they would have done it out.
That important of event.
Yeah.
And out of whatever huge crowd he would attract, to be one of the people who were selected to be in that arena or wherever they did it.
Yeah.
And to know that one of those spots, those cherished spots, is there for Kid Rock. Oh my God!
Yeah.
And there actually were a lot of people who flown in and to see the inauguration live who didn't find out until they got there.
Yeah.
On top of that, he raised $200 million for the outdoor inauguration they didn't hold. So what the hell was all that money going to be going to now?
Paying his attorneys.
Johnny's pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Heathen Granny Trump is made of nuggets, litter box nuggets, the kind I scoop out every day.
And speaking about Trump scams, he had his crypto coin scam just before he got into office.
Yep.
Yes, Heathen, you are 100% correct, and it's called an oligarchy.
I remember.
And it could easily develop into a dictatorship.
Yep.
Yep, we're in an oligarchy right now.
I remember what I was thinking about saying before, because we had been talking about Milani, was I want to know who the lawyer was that wrote her prenup, because whoever did that is the person I want representing me in court.
Really?
If
Trump's lawyers can't find a way to get him out of that.
Well, I think Elon will be just a fine president. Can't be any worse than
I
Trump.
expect they'll dispose of Trump as soon as they find a way to do it without upsetting all the MAGAs, and we'll be stuck with Vance.
That's the plan.
Yeah, the problem they're having is how can they get rid of Trump without having all of the MAGAs revolt and attack them?
I don't know, but they're pretty good at PR, so they'll figure it out.
Well, they can just get rid of him and blame him in the Democrats. That'll be a believable story.
Okay, would you date Elon Musk if someone paid you millions?
Yes.
Would you date Trump if someone paid you millions?
Yes.
How many millions?
Oh, started 100 million.
Yeah, I have to say, considering
After taxes.
Yes, definitely after taxes is important.
Yeah, I have to say, considering I've lived right around the poverty line all my life on both sides of it, $1 million is pretty hard to turn away.
Yeah, especially for something that's only psychologically scarring. Well, you don't know what you could catch.
Yeah, we'd have to have the terms be specific. Are we just dating, as in going to movies and restaurants, or how much sex is included in this? If I don't actually have sex with them, then I could do it.
Included or required?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If I am required to get naked with them, I don't know. I can't really say with that being a theoretical question. Yeah, I can't flee the country. Nobody really wants somebody who's retired and disabled. So my only hope is that Canada will annex Minnesota.
Yeah, sitting by Louis Brandeis. Yes, he was Associate Justice on the Supreme Court of the United States. He's from 1916 to 1939. There's a quote: "We can have democracy in this country. We can have great wealth concentrated in the hands of a few, but we can't have both." Well, that's what we have right now.
Well, it had to make the flip over at some point.
Okay, Orla's at least got a happy thought for us. Considering everything they're doing, could Elon Musk get deported? It's a possibility.
He might be too protected right now with Trump in his rear end.
Yeah, but Trump could sign an order that, could get somebody hiring a lawyer to get him out of the country. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it was a group of people from one of his plants doing it. Like all the people working assembling Teslas.
Orla, it does not matter what 18 states are doing, because whatever happens, it will go to the higher court, and the higher court and is paid and bought and paid for Supreme Court will say, "Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Trump wins."
Well, they have actually gone against Trump in a few things so far, but
and the real limiting factor we have is that there is no way the Supreme Court will be able to hear as many cases as Trump is signing executive orders for. So there's just going to be a whole bunch of them that the Supreme Court is just going to decide not to hear the case because they're overburdened.
That's probably why did the 200 or some odd on the first day.
Okay, Heathen Granny says for $3 million she'd kiss the orange nugget. Which apparently is more than Melania is willing to do.
God, that woman is ugly.
Yeah, but did you see that kiss at the inauguration? She was like, "As long as you don't physically touch me."
Well, oh, you mean with that? Excuse me. That thing she wore on her head. The
brim of the hat was getting in the way. Yeah.
No, it's a Donnie defense device.
Yep. Well, and isn't that the thing through his whole past presidential thing that, she was never holding his hand, never making physical contact?
Let's see here. What would it take for me to pull something like that off? I'm thinking 500 million after taxes, no tongue.
Oh, good point. Oh, excellent point.
Okay. Yep.
Very important. No, I ain't gonna kiss him. You kiss him. Jesus.
Well. Hey, Porpoise.
Hey, Parp.
Yeah, I'm sure that when Melania married him, she was sure that McDonald's was going to kill him within 2 or 3 years. I still maintain that she hired the last assassin because she was tired of waiting.
Boy,
I have nothing factual to base this on. That is just an assumption on my part, but I feel it fits all the points. Okay, I'm sorry, Jenny. I was just making sure that anyone else on the channel was not getting harassed for that.
No, I was just chewing my dessert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all I have is my tea, although I am having incredibly strong cravings today for citrus. So I am going to have to get some citrus fruit here.
This is cute right now. I got Molly. He's got her butt against one of my feet. I have my legs crossed, so I have the back of my foot against the back of her neck, and I'm scratching underneath her neck.
Yep.
She's just sitting here looking at me.
Yep. Well, I of course have Ethan laying on one of my legs. Oh, I saw Sammy's son earlier. I'm not sure where he's at now.
Different Molly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we gotta find a nickname for Molly, so that we stop having this confusion.
Which nickname for which Molly?
Well, I don't know. The first thing I came up with was Sloth Friend, but that seems a little cumbersome. We need something a little more catchy.
Or you might just want to rename the cat. But human takes precedence.
Well, no, it's Mage's dog, so you got to convince Mage
that
to rename
Molly.
his dog.
I thought you had a cat Molly.
No. This human Molly is the one that we need a nickname for.
Okay, so Mage's dog.
Yeah, that human Molly, who had been Slothgirl's best friend and is now my best friend. She checks in on me almost every day, and I am trying to figure out why I do not find that intensely annoying.
This Molly I was talking about.
Yeah, name her Flo.
No, this Molly was first in our chat.
FLO, Flo. For Flora, duh.
No.
Well, if you want, I could go with her full name, Molly May.
No, Doggy Molly was here in the chat first. She was here for well over a year before the other Molly came into the chat. So she already has claim to the name. So the Molly that came first gets to hold the name. The Molly that came later needs to get a nickname.
I'm sorry, the human takes precedence.
Well, damn, where does that put me on the list?
Way down there.
I guess it's okay to grab the orange nugget by the balls if you squeeze very hard and twist. Although, for all we know, he's already been neutered.
There was a second tragedy that happened this week. This is serious, not kidding around. That was at least as tragic as the inauguration, but probably even more so. That Bob Uecker, the voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, passed on. And he was just a wonderful, wonderful man. I'd met him several times. We both happened to be regulars at a local cafe, and I met him there. I mean, he didn't know my name or anything like that. I'm not saying we're buddies or anything, but I was sitting close enough to hear every word he said, and he's just a really nice guy, and he's funny all the time. And it's really sad, but he had a good 90 years. So, attaway, Bob, right in the front row.
Yeah, I was never a sports fan, but I definitely know who he was.
Yeah, he had that TV series for a while and everything. And guest on Johnny Carson all the time. And,
Yeah. Well, I can still, I can still remember his voice
mm-hmm.
just from hearing him so often.
Just a little outside. that was one of his lines from that baseball movie he was in. That Martin Sheen was in it. And the pitcher was nicknamed the Wild Thing. Wild pitches and pitchers don't go together very well, you see.
Yeah. Okay, Molly, human Molly, because Orla pointed out that was bad protocol, I made you a moderator. Don't worry if you have no clue what to do with it. People make me moderators on their channels all the time, and I'm a horrible moderator.
Hmm.
Well, usually I'm just too slow on the keys and someone else beats me to it. Also, I'm not really good at judgment calls all the time about, who's being a troll.
Well, Dog is currently playing with a tiny piece of cow hoof.
Okay, so should we split it, and should we call Molly D for the dog and Molly H for the human?
Mm-hmm. You good for Molly D?
Is that a fair settlement for everyone?
Boop. She's looking at me like, what? And I just booped her nose.
Petunia was being so affectionate this morning. I just got down on her level and she just, was really grooving on being able to rub herself against the top of my head. So I am glad she settled in here so well, but yeah, I know she still misses her sloth mommy. And I can tell that certain toys remind her. Okay, Porpoise says we should call the dog Molly Beagle.
No, I like Molly D. Like Tenacious D.
Yeah.
The Jack Black band.
Well, Molly Beagle, to me that instantly goes to, Ma Beagle from DuckTales. The matriarch and the leader of the crime gang.
Not familiar.
Yeah, they were in DuckTales, always trying to figure out how to get into Scrooge's money bin.
Yeah, they were the Beagle Boys.
Yep. The Beagle Boys, and Ma Beagle was their leader.
Mm-hmm.
Always slapping them around for being so stupid. Oh, nice. Heathen Granny said, my dad actually gave me his awesome PS3, and it's rare that's one of the original models that can play PS2 games. I don't know anything about the game console, so I wasn't even aware that the PS3 couldn't play the older games.
Huh. Interesting. So they had the function and they took it out, huh? That sucks.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, I let Sloth Girl's son take all of her gaming stuff. But mostly she was on an Xbox. I don't know specifically which model.
Computer games. They make you turn you into brain mush.
Oh, they don't.
I'm just kidding.
So Sinister Porpoise wants to know how many of you have the joy of a ball of tortitude. That's a cat with the torty fur pattern. I do not. Petunia is more of a calico, and Sammy and Ethan are both tuxedos, which means they are ready for a formal occasion, and I am not.
I am being requested for belly rubs.
Sinister Porpoise says Ma Beagle is based off of Ma Barker from the 1930s.
Orla, are you hitting on Mage again?
I hadn't actually made that connection, but it makes perfect sense when you say it.
Yeah, it does.
Almost female? Did you forget the word all in there?
My son just told me I know where you live. Yeah, torties are almost always female. It's very rare to have a male with that color pattern.
Yeah.
Which is true for several color patterns of cats are, predominant with one sex or the other. Excuse me. Because apparently the coding for the fur color is on the male chromosome. So it's actually the father who determines, the father's chromosome who determines what pattern they will be. However, when a female cat is in heat, she will often mate multiple times with different males, which is why you will often see a female having a litter of kittens that have different fur colors, and quite possibly none of them match the mothers.
The one male cat I had was the only one in the litter that had blue eyes, and he had a gray fur. So he had sort of like gray tabby fur, the pattern, but it had blue Siamese eyes.
I think governments of the world should all get together and pass a law that nobody's allowed to have anything other than blue eyes, because blue eyes are the best.
Shall we also add blonde hair to that?
You better keep me from getting stressed up then.
And that's not just humans, dogs, cats, humans, guinea pigs too.
While you're doing that, you should also add you can only have blonde hair.
No, just blue eyes. I don't care what hair color. Actually, if it's going to be blue eyes, it really does need to be a red hair scheme. So you're right, a red hair and blue eyes.
But my eyes change color.
Well, then you'll have to get them replaced. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that if I'm totally calm, they'll be blue. If I start getting stressed, they turn green.
How do they get that red color?
Yeah, well, my late fiance used to love it. For her, it was great that when I'd come home from work, she would just sit there and stroke my hair and watch my eyes change color.
My mom actually had green eyes. Well, at least until she had eye surgery, and then one of them turned into almost a sort of a hazel color.
Why do I find heartless middle-aged women attractive? Sorry, can't give you any clues on that.
No idea.
If you're referring to me, thank you for calling me middle-aged.
Well, I'm middle-aged as long as I live to be 120. See, you can't really say what's middle-aged unless you know the end point.
See, our fetishes tend to form around when we're about 8 years old, so maybe something then.
So our middle age is 10 years old now?
No, our fetishes form when we're around 8 years old.
Okay, I don't know where you're finding that, but I trust that you would have sources for saying it.
Give or take.
Everyone living between 1000 AD and 1500 AD was Middle Age. Yeah, I don't go back quite that far.
Well, mathematically, if you're between 1000 and 1500, then that would mean that.
Well, you'd have to be more than 500 years old.
Well, you'd have to be 2500 years old, or
No, 1500 AD. So, actually, you'd have to be about 1000 years old to have catch the end of that. Because now we're in 2500 AD.
okay. I'm going to move away from the mathematics section of the show.
But we've got a porpoise who is all about mathematics.
Divide by 12, carry the 1.
Now, that actually was not the answer I had in mind, because
The answer
I
is
got this problem says you should do it in base 8.
the
But don't
answer.
worry, base 8 is the same as base 10 if you're missing 2 fingers. That's a quote from Tom Lear.
Yeah.
See, I get the concept of base 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if that's how we're all operating, what do you call all those numbers past it? Because are they all 18? You know, it's
Well, in base 8, 1 0 would be 9, 1 1 would be 10.
see, now that's dumb. Anybody who creates binary language like that if you have 1 0, it's 10. It's not 11.
Well, it's not all binary. I was just spelling it out. Like if you write 1 5 in base 8, that would actually be 13.
See, that's what I mean. It's either 5 or it's 13. It can't be both.
Yeah.
Forget it, Sinister. This is a little beyond you. For those out there who did not know, Sinister is a math genius type person.
Yes, and everybody should be watching the Mad Scientist Friday night shows when they go into debunking all the math.
Oh, they do that, huh?
Yep. I'm sorry. I forget what the name of the show is.
Well, that would be the Terrence Howard show.
Yeah. I just know. I just know it's a porpoise operating a human puppet.
Still doing some conversion into different base number. This isn't too difficult for the most part.
Yep.
So basically, what you'd be thinking of it when we think of like base 10, you have 10. That's 1 10 in the 10 spot and 0 ones. So the 1 0. And basically do the same thing with all the other bases. So like base 2, if you have 2, you would have 1 in the 2 spot and 0 in the 1 spot.
Yep.
There's a picture I just put up on MidAmerica that applies to this discussion.
It's Faulty Logic Friday. I'm sorry, I was blanking on the name of the show. So, Porpoise, why don't you put a link for that in the chat just so everybody, knows when your next show is going to be.
And when you watch Porpoise's show, remember, bring a notebook. Did you get the picture I sent to MidAmerica?
Let me get it. Oh, that one.
Yeah. You don't have to take any credit if you don't want to. Yeah,
It's okay.
everybody can have copies of this. It'll be on your desk for the next 4 years.
Oh,
Hey, I just ran 2 dolphins, 1 cow out through an AI generator, and that's what it gave me.
I put the caption
Jenny did
So-
the caption.
because Mage does not have a mind of perversion like I do.
yeah. Yeah, Mage did the picture, Jenny added the kink.
Sinister had nothing to do with it.
Yep. Okay, this one only works written out. If you read it, it doesn't make the same sense.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. So now we
Yeah, we're clicking on. We keep
Yeah.
clicking on the same one together.
now we know. Oh, we're vain. Since it's been all month.
But are those live dolphins or, passed on
Okay, yeah, I didn't do the joke right. Porpoise has got it better.
with tiny toothpicks holding their eyes open?
Yeah, they look like they're probably taxidermy.
Heathen, then head on over to Japan where they eat the dolphins. In fact, they have a mass kill once a year. They herd them all into this little bay,
Oh God, yeah.
and men jump in and butcher them right in the water.
And for those of you who may either didn't hear the story or forgot that the whole dolphin thing, it comes from something that we spied on in a search that JD Vance did after complaining about it.
Hey, how's the journey going?
So while the couch thing may be all made up, there may be actually some truth to the dolphin thing.
Yeah.
I believe that Unfinished Journey is doing a modern, updated version of the Oregon Trail game. This will be the digital edition. And when they get somewhere out towards the Rockies, they have to eat a Dell computer.
I found a card game based on the Oregon Trail, and it is still in its shrink wrap. I haven't had a chance to play it.
Interesting. They could make a decent card game, I could see.
Yeah, I actually have a couple of games that are still in their shrink wrap because I haven't found other people to play with. The most ironic is I have a copy of the original game Pandemic in the shrink wrap because I bought it when we moved here in 2020 before the lockdown started. So since then, I have never been able to get 4 to 6 people in one room together to play it. But I am registered for Con of the North in April or in February for Con of the North.
Get in, loser. We're going in the die of dysentery.
Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to go to the American Atheist Convention, which will be in Minneapolis in April. And I'm still going to go, but apparently I will have to miss Sunday because I got invited to my niece's wedding.
Oh, fuck weddings.
This weekend?
No, in April.
Oh.
Which, yeah, I've got to find something suitable to wear. But, I probably would, except that I'm just really amazed that she reached out to me. We really haven't spoken directly much over the last several years.
She knows.
Most of it's been
She knows
channeling her mom.
She knows your deep, dark secret, which is now on public display.
Well, in her first text, she did call me uncle, and I had to remind her it's auntie now. And yeah, then it's kind of everything clicked. And from then on, she was using the right pronouns. And she remembered my new name, even though I hadn't said it. So she knew about it, and it all clicked together. I just had to give her one reminder.
How old is she?
I'm not sure. Upper 20s?
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah, she's one of my aunts and my sisters just got gifted kids instead of getting the full autistic kids.
My.
I feel kind of cheated because I have two cousins my age that got put in all the classes for gifted children. They got degrees and everything now, and it's like, yeah, but I was just labeled as a troublemaker, so they didn't give me credit. Actually, they labeled me as being a classic underachiever because they could tell I was intelligent and just decided that I didn't want to apply myself. They never considered the possibility that I usually didn't understand the directions.
My high school career was a little different.
I barely learned anything in grade school.
Most of what I learned during my school days was more like they may have said something that I found interesting, so then I spent a couple of weeks in the library researching, what was like just one line in the lesson plan and didn't absorb anything else from it.
It was elementary school, like well before sixth grade, when I learned that two things: that Italy is shaped like a boot,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. I don't get how Trump feels that the whole world is going to update their maps based on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he's going to require all of them in the United States to say that. I saw one meme that somebody did, picture of the map with Gulf of Mexico on it. The lettering was changed to oh geez. Oh yeah. Gulf of fragile masculinity.
I saw a Gulf of Luigi.
Ooh, that's good too.
But how will Trump respond when the Gulf of America floods his beloved golf course?
No, he's on the Pacific Atlantic side.
Yeah, he's on the other side of Florida.
Well, I was just wondering about, rising sea levels, how much of Florida is going to be lost. And
Mar-a-Lago is gone if that happens.
That's what I mean. I was wondering if Mar-a-Lago was more than 3 feet above sea level now.
No, we'll be fine. We'll just build a seawall and have Atlantis pay for it.
Well, there you go. There's a plan.
Oh, my sister-in-law just arrived at the airport in Milwaukee.
Oh,
yeah.
Her and my brother go down to literally the border of Texas and Mexico from November to like almost our April.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to be rich, eh? And
yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm wearing 6 pairs of everything to stay warm. But anyways, she had some business she had to take care of, and so she had to fly up from down there to take care of it.
Yeah, I'm wondering what my electric bill is going to be like with running this heater all day.
Oh, you pay your electric bill?
Yeah. Well, the building pays for the heat that's in the hot water heater running through the baseboard heaters. But when I'm having to run another heater on top of that, then I'm paying the electric.
If you've got water at a good temperature, why do you have to get a heater to heat it?
Because the windows leak so badly, it doesn't keep it warm in here.
No. Before that, why do you have a hot water heater? Isn't it just a water heater that turns it hot?
Yeah.
You're not heating hotted water.
Well,
Never mind. I'm not thinking clearly.
You know what's worse is that I've seen propane heaters, and it's really dangerous to heat that stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's been so cold. This shows you how bad the windows leak. Is that since I moved her down here in June, Petunia has always slept on a little bed up on the shelf by the front window. For the last 3 days, she has given up the window and she has been camping in front of the heater. Because even she can't stand the cold draft. So hopefully we're done with the below zero stuff.
It's Minnesota and it's winter. Come on.
I said hope. I didn't say that I actually believed it would be the case.
They did say that tomorrow is before today, folks. Perp and I have been living at like 15 to 25 below for the last 4 or 5 days. Is it now?
Yep.
And that's cold. But you have excellent defense against you don't go outside. And that's typical Minnesota. But anyways, then that was yesterday, and now today it's like almost 30. But tomorrow it's going to go back down to 14.
Well, could you at least stop sending your extra cold weather down here?
Well,
no, we're trying to get rid of it. Jesus Christ.
I've been.
Well, we don't want it.
I've been having to go outside because I have one of the few vehicles that has started under its own power every day. So I've been having to go and jumpstart other people.
$10 a piece.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it because it's the neighborly thing. I'm not charging for it.
Oh, fuck that. In winter, my brother and I would go around with a jumper battery and cables, and we go find people who are and hit them up $20 because it was usually those same days where there's a fresh foot of snow on the ground.
Yeah.
People will pay anything.
Yeah, and it actually would work because even the people with roadside assistance, you can tell them to go ahead, call the roadside assistance, and how long did they say it'll be before a tow truck gets here? When it's sub-zero, the wait is commonly 3 hours.
And actually, $20 for a service call to jump somebody's car like that. Even if they're a regular customer of yours, $20 is completely fair. That'll break down to less than $3 an hour when you take all the things you have to do to go out and jump somebody. It's a giant pain in the ass, and you should be charged 20. Should be charged 50, but 20 is as high as people usually go. Well, years ago.
Well, getting back to this, would you date Musk for millions?
Nobody said anything about dating. It was about one time. If I have to date the fucker, no way. Keep the money. But if I only need one day, that's fine.
Can I just bring him to a laboratory and ask them to carbon date him? Does that count? But there's also the possibility that you date him and you get video so that you can blackmail him later.
I got a new binky before the cold weather hit.
That's good.
So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have 4. I have 4 now. Now I have 5 blankets. That's how cold it is, folks.
All hail Bigfoot.
I'm not bullshitting.
Yeah. I have a Snuggie that one of our viewers sent me like 6 years ago. And I have been thanking them for that every year as I pull it out. It's the blanket with the sleeves. And this one, the sleeves are just, so big and open that I can actually pull my trackball inside the sleeve so I can have my hands in the warm while I'm playing my games.
That's good thinking. The game I play is dependent on touch screen, so I can't wear any gloves while I'm playing. I got to get some of those with the finger cut off the tip of the finger.
Yeah,
like you do with a saw.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had a pair of those mittens that the top would flip down to expose the fingers. And after Slothgirl's son was here, I haven't been able to find them again.
He stole them.
Well, I know that he borrowed them when he drove my van. I just don't know where he put them.
In his pocket.
Oh, I go on.
Oh no, I was just grunting at my own reality at home right now. And how annoying it is to have to clean out a one-hitter. With just a wire.
Yeah, all kittens come with mittens.
And toe beans.
Yep. Actually, I had a wonderful idea. I need an illustrator because I had a wonderful idea for a meme.
It's called AI, baby.
Well, I need that scene from The Hobbit. Where it's Bilbo and Gollum there. Doing the.
You could generate that, couldn't you?
What?
What Purple's describing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but just the two of them doing the riddle game. And Bilbo.
How long would it take to do that?
I don't know. Generating multiple people with an AI, it can be a little tricky at times.
Yeah. You gotta get the prompts right.
And even then, the AI sometimes gets confused, and you end up with weird amalgamations of the two characters.
Yep.
So it really should be called artificial 65 IQ. Is that it?
I suppose I could probably find some still photos from the movie and put the text on those. Okay, I'll have to work on it later.
Yeah, found this meme while I was looking around. Road to Fascism is lined with people telling you to stop overreacting.
Yep.
That was posted by Secular Talk, Kyle Clancy on Blue Sky.
Yeah, yep, and that's the Republicans have, ever since Trump first got elected, telling us we're overreacting to everything.
Well, let's see.
Did you hear that Marjorie Taylor Greene said that the government should make it snow to put out the LA fires, or make it rain to put out the LA fires?
Really?
So she really believes that bullshit, huh?
Sure she does.
Well, she at least wants the people she's listening to believe that we control the weather.
Well, I'm not surprised at all, but
Well,
she is absolutely a blithering idiot.
Yeah. What if the fires continue for quite a while after Trump's in office? Then can she blame him for not putting out the fires?
Just had to explain to my mom what wiped out the dinosaurs and why burbs are dinosaurs.
Yep.
All
the Jurassic Park music playing in the
Yeah.
background.
I just uploaded three pictures. We could do the one with the little red creature in first.
Okay.
Don't give it away when you see it.
Yeah, crocodiles are not dinosaurs. Crocodiles and dinosaurs, split off as two different branches on the reptile tree before there were any dinosaurs. Okay, bug. Mate, can you pull Jenny's pictures up?
Sure. Come on. Oh.
Let's see which one you're getting there.
Elon Musk one.
Oh, I don't know which one that is.
You posted it.
Well, show the picture, then I'll know. Oh yes, Twitter's new name. Oh, I mean X's new name.
New logo.
Yeah.
People still don't call it X.
Yeah, very
Nope.
few people I run into call it X. Or I usually use Twitter X if I need to use it in the more public sphere.
Yeah. Well, even newscasters, will say X, formerly known as Twitter, because they know if they just say X, half the people watching won't know what they're talking about.
Okay, that's we've looked at this one enough.
Okay. Next.
So if he was to buy a TikTok, would it be X Talk, or would we just roll it into X altogether?
I don't know. I would drop it immediately if he bought it and never go back.
So who do we have here?
X is the Chinese, so.
Well, okay, I'm out here in the country, and when things start getting cold, little creatures try to get in your house to stay warm for the winter. I caught this little motherfucker sneaking up on me last night.
Yep. You has worms? You take me where worms is?
No, but I invited him to use the privacy in my bedroom to masturbate, but it was a Tyrannosaurus Rex that couldn't reach.
Yeah. That's why they're so grumpy all the time.
Yep.
That's right.
Well, hey.
I read that in a book.
If you think their arms are a problem, wouldn't it be terrifying for one's mate to actually offer him a blowjob?
Flowing Tyrannosaurus Wang. Okay. I haven't named this little guy yet, so if anybody's got any good suggestions, I'd be happy to entertain them.
Yeah, no, their owners are so the Tyrannosaurus is always so pissed off. They can't masturbate, and they just get a toothy blowjob.
Yeah, it really is amazing how stupid it gets. Yeah. And in doing that salute, oh yeah, that was just that was just a nothing, dude, you did it twice.
Well,
you deliberately turned around and did it again to the screen or whatever's behind you.
Yeah.
And personally, if I was going to be speaking at an event I knew would be televised, I would have rehearsed it beforehand, preferably with a couple of friends watching, so they could give me some feedback on if this is a good thing.
Yeah.
Then again, he may very well have done it, and all the people he rehearsed it in front were Proud Boys, so he could have gotten the feedback that it was a good thing.
Yeah, like I said, all he had to do is turn his hand 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tsunami's comment. I like how people are pretending like they're shocked that a guy raised during South Africa's apartheid could possibly be racist.
with a grandfather who was a Nazi supporter.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, he wasn't. His father and grandfather were members of the Klan, weren't they?
I believe at least his father was. I know
Yep.
his grandfather was at least a Nazi supporter. So
Yeah, and I like how Trump released that guy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, well, right now our best defense against Trump is all the infighting within the Republican Party. Hopefully that will prevent them from getting a lot of their stuff passed.
Well, the one thing Biden did good is that he pardoned Leonard Peltier, put a true political prisoner for the last, God almighty, 30 years, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he's about 80 now. And so Joe Biden pardoned him. He's only been serving for 30, 40 years. So, he's an old guy. He can probably hardly walk. The guy who, oh gosh, he had that dark web thing, Silk Road, where people go to buy illegal consumables that alter your consciousness, and prostitution and all child exchanging and just horrible, horrible stuff. And Trump pardoned that guy. He was sentenced to life. It was so bad that he was sentenced to life, and Trump pardoned him. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
I'd have to go back and look at the case about what it was he was sentenced for.
oh, here's a little history thing I found on Elon's grandfather.
That's him.
Do you know about Elon Musk's grandfather, J.N. Haldeman? Let me tell you a little bit about him. He was born in the US and moved to Canada as a young man, where he worked as a chiropractor. He became involved with an organization called Technocracy Incorporated, which aimed to replace democratically elected representatives with technocrats. In other words, people who would be selected because they had the skills deemed necessary to run the economy properly. This led to him being arrested on the 8th of October, 1940, because Technocracy Incorporated had been deemed subversive to Canada's war effort. And he was subsequently fined at trial for writing, publishing, or circulating a document titled Statement of Patriotism by those who were technocrats. Just last year, Elon Musk's father, Errol Musk, claimed that his father-in-law, J.N. Haldeman, had sympathized with Nazi Germany during World War II. During that period, Haldeman had given a speech defending a newspaper's decision to publish the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which is a notorious publication, basically an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory publication, which claimed that international Jewry was aiming to rule the world. He would later claim that apartheid South Africa was leading white Christian civilization against the international conspiracy of Jewish bankers and the, as he put it, hordes of colored people that he claimed that they controlled. In 1950, 2 years after the official start of apartheid, Musk's grandfather relocated the family to apartheid South Africa, where he supported the apartheid government and told the Transvaal newspaper, instead of the government's attitude keeping me out of South Africa, it had precisely the opposite effect. It encouraged me to come and settle here. Remember, the apartheid government was essentially a neo-Nazi organization. It drew inspiration from the Nazis, and many of the members of the National Party who designed apartheid were themselves Nazi sympathizers and Nazi supporters during the Second World War. In 1951, J.N. Haldeman wrote an article for a Saskatchewan newspaper called the Regina Leader Post, in which he defended apartheid and wrote about South Africa. The natives are very primitive and must not be taken seriously. Some are quite clever in a routine job, but the best of them cannot assume responsibility and will abuse authority. The present government of South Africa knows how to handle the native question. In later life, he self-published 2 books alleging international conspiracies. Firstly, the international conspiracy to establish a world dictatorship and the menace to South Africa, and then the international conspiracy in health, which casts suspicion on fluoridation, vaccinations, and health insurance. So yes, you did see what you saw, and yes, it does mean what you think it means, and yes, that runs in this man's genes.
Well, I would argue it's not necessarily in his genes, but obviously he either is, could be influenced there in his family.
Yeah.
That video, videos like that are why the politicians are trying to kill TikTok.
Yeah. I don't buy the official argument of why they want to get rid of TikTok because of China collecting data. Facebook sells their data to China. They can collect it in multiple other ways.
And gets a hell of a lot more data than that.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying, that, just because they get an American company to own half of it does not mean an American company is not going to sell all that information to China if they're going to pay them enough.
And you can also thank Trump for allowing our data to be sold.
Yeah.
No, we have to take responsibility for that. I'm sorry. I will not accept that. Americans lost their right to privacy in the 70s when, late 60s, 70s, when direct mail first came upon the scene. Direct mail defined it in those days as a company puts out a form letter advertisement thing and sends it to addresses where they believe the people are of this or that persuasion, whatever religious, political, whatever they're looking for. And by ignoring that and not getting legislation to demand privacy at that point, Americans just said, "Well, okay," because America's educated to 3rd grade.
Yep. Yeah, Jenny's right.
And ever since then, it has grown and changed and morphed into what we have now. It is direct mail gone wild.
Yep, Jenny's right. It started as soon as marketers were doing targeted mailing lists.
I was talking about online.
Let me just finish one other thing. And with that, moving to digital, it expanded. They get more information than they ever did before, and they can track it down to your front door. That's how they get their voter manipulation done. Okay, that's the part of their 40-year plan that they've gone through.
The thing that Trump signed off on allowed them to be able to sell the data without our consent. And that was what I was talking about.
Wasn't that already the case?
No.
I thought Facebook had been doing that for a long time.
They could collect data, but they couldn't sell it without our consent beforehand.
Nonsense. But when you log on to the site, your consent is in the 6th page of fine print. Who reads all those terms and conditions when they log on to a website?
If it's free, you're the product.
Yep. But yeah, that's actually probably the biggest reason that the Democrats lost the election. Is the Republicans understood this, about targeting stuff online, and the Democrats didn't. The Democrats instead were spending all their money on TV promotions. But then it was a matter of, okay, how many people were going to get that particular TV channel? So the Democrats, didn't understand social media yet and didn't understand how they can get a message out to far more people spending far less money.
Oh, Tsunami, I don't know if you're aware, as far as target criminal offenses, most police cars in major cities today have plate readers. It's a thing that tracks and the license plate in front of the police car and reads it and instantly gets a history on it and whether or not it's wanted, so who owns it, wants and warrants, that it all just falls down in front of their face. Your whole life fucking history. And that's why they pull you over.
Yeah, well, with license plates, that's just a simple text matching.
So here's a little thing on it. What I was talking about. Trump signs measure to let ISPs sell familiar data without consent. Privacy activists launched into the last-ditch effort to persuade Trump to veto the measure, but the White House has already said the president didn't favor it. And he did sign off on it, by the way. This is from 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what happened. And so basically, ISPs know like they can sell your data. So everything you do online can be sold off. Whereas before this, they could not do that.
Okay.
So if any of you out there happen to vote for Trump, I hope you're happy.
This is from his first term. This is what he did in his first term. So now he's got more power to be able to take it even further if he wants.
Yeah.
But after this, the whole China thing of what TikTok's doing and whatnot doesn't fucking matter. They can just buy everything you've done online.
Yeah, I don't know why TikTok was singled out. Because obviously, Twitter and Facebook do the same thing. So I can only assume it's because, these certain people who own Twitter and Facebook, decide to make large contributions to political campaigns in order to get Twitter attacked.
There's talk of Elon buying TikTok. Trump is talking about.
Oh, and another thing, VPNs will not protect you from that too, because it's the ISP.
Yeah, VPNs only change the ISP that you're calling from, but your original provider has to have the ISP of the cable that runs into your house, and be able to keep that separate from every house they serve.
Yeah, they'll still know what the ISP you're going out to.
Yep.
So basically, we're fucked.
Yep.
No, but that was from his first term. I'm talking about being fucked from his first term. So now we're going to see what unhinged crap he's going to come up with in his second term.
Hey, okay, if Meta's buying TikTok, at least they've got a good slogan for it, right? Get fucked by Zuck.
Well, yeah, that would work. Let's do the meme.
Go Zuck yourself off.
Oh, Tsunami's getting a little crazy.
The Ravens have told me, prepare for war. For tonight we ride to Valhalla.
Oh, Tsunami, they already did. I saw an article that was tracking like 2025 Republican congressmen who, invested in Meta stock, before the whole TikTok thing started. And, and everybody remember it was Trump who got it started. He gave one of his little commandment type speeches, and TikTok began to go to get shut down at that point. It started to go south.
Yep. Trump was the one who got the ball rolling on this thing. In fact,
well, and during Trump's first term, the Republicans removed a lot of the stuff that involved them not being able to do insider trading.
Yeah, well, they don't care about that anymore, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they just did little things like, dissolve the ethics committee. Because who cares whether the people running the country have any ethics?
You don't believe if anybody doesn't believe it? No?
When I wanted to disable TikTok 3 years ago, I was met with opposition from rhinos, Democrats, and everyone else. They actually went to court in an effort to stop me. We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok. We may be doing some other things. There are a couple of options, but a lot of things are happening. So we'll see what happens. But we are looking at a lot of alternatives with respect to TikTok. We gave them until September 15th. After that, they got to close shop. Okay, that's TikTok. We're looking at TikTok. We're thinking about making a decision. We're going to be watching the hearings today very closely because there's no question that what the big tech companies are doing is very bad. TikTok is one thing that we're doing, and we just, I don't know, maybe I would have done that anyway. I don't know. It could have been affected by this. When I wanted to disable TikTok.
There, his own words.
Geez, do you think he caused it? Oh, God almighty. Oh, this is
So
what...
if anybody wants to go in claiming how he saved TikTok, he fucking started this bullshit in the first place.
Yup.
His own words. And
then the actual shutdown to occur and last only for 12 to 15 hours, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's because the CEO of TikTok paid him off.
And wrote these lovely little things that try to move culpability away. Instead, zeroed in on it. When they wrote this the drop down sign that said basically, "Oh, this is what's happening," but Trump is looking at it. And then when TikTok started to go back up, they had another one ready, and it said something like, "Oh, thank God for Trump," and all these just stupid things.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with the fact that the CEO was there and was paying Trump off.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. What have we done?
All right. So what else we got here? So we got dead air. That's what we got, huh? Okay.
Well, just thinking a little bit about my future and how it's going to end. I'm with Tsunami. I expect this to go very, very bad.
Sorry about that.
I'm just trying to hold on for dear life and hope I don't fall off.
Mm-hmm. I just wish I had enough money to arm myself.
Well, so can we have something of a positive note to close on today?
No, let's just keep going. Maybe something good will come up.
Okay, well, actually, I'm going to have to go soon. Because I do need to run out this evening, so I need time to get ready.
I would have to go walk Molly pretty soon. Dog Molly. It might be pretty awkward if we're walking Inhuman Molly.
Well, I will be walking with Human Molly, but yeah, we're gonna skip the leash. It's okay. She rarely wanders very far.
It's getting late in the day. I should probably go take a nap. Oh, poopy! I forgot my noontime medications. Yipes!
Oh, yeah, that's one of the things I've got to run out for. The doctor added another medication, so I got to go to the pharmacy and pick it up today.
Mine
I-
is just to keep my heart going.
Yep.
No big deal.
Yeah, I'm lucky on that. While I'm on like 7 or 8 pills a day, none of them are going to be lethal if I miss a dose. And yeah, actually, I saw my doctor yesterday, and he did agree to increase my estrogen dose because when I had that episode that it shot way up, I was actually feeling things. It's like the emotions were overwhelming, but I've been so emotionally flat most of my life. I convinced him, can we aim for something halfway between there so that I can, actually have emotional reactions when something's happening to me? So he agreed to increase my dosage by 20%.
Interesting.
And then check back in 3 months and see if we need to fiddle with it again.
Okay. How's this for ending? Some weird camera lens thing.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan with Melania there and doing some kind of weird camera lens distortion.
Well, and yeah, and the edge of his suit looks so perfectly straight, it almost looks like a cut line. I mean, I know it isn't, but
That's just standard barrel distortion that you get in the cheap shit cameras and phones.
yeah.
Oh, it's interesting the comparison here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, see, Jenny, this is the kind of stuff I was saying about I don't know how to take a decent picture. That just things about getting the camera angle right and that so you don't have things that look weird like this.
Mage, I don't get the joke here.
He's being compared to the pug, who has
Yeah.
a similar body shape. So look at the pug, how the body's shaped and the legs and everything, and then look at how Joe Rogan's body is due to
Well,
camera distortion.
yeah, good point. It does look like a big fat chicken leg guy. He's such a dick. It's so stupid. Oh man.
So there's the joke there.
Okay, I get it.
Okay.
Sorry to have ruined it for everybody. I just didn't get it. I just
No, I wasn't really getting it either.
and I hope when you're out online there, everybody, and writing things out and stuff, that you be sure to refer to Musk as the president and Trump as vice president, because he really, really hates that.
Yes. So we're closing out here. We're going to do our last statements here.
Yeah, Mage, I was watching your new garden tour video.
Yep. I got my garden tour video out.
Yeah, so you should throw a link in the chat for anyone who hasn't seen that yet.
Yeah, let me try and get a link here. Do videos.
Garden shows in the middle of the winter. These people, I swear.
So there's the link to my new garden video, and of course I have the Thursday midnight showing. If anybody wants to come, you can DM me, or you can join my Discord. Let me get the Discord link.
Yeah,
if
the
Discord
chickens
wants
were
to load.
good.
Yeah, they've been doing pretty good, even though they're actually giving me eggs, even though they're old and getting up there.
Yep. Then you've already had a bumblebee come back?
Yep.
Do they hang around all year, or do you miss them for at least a few months?
They usually are around pretty much all year.
Okay.
But there's my Discord if anybody wants to get in there. I put the links to get into the midnight showings things there in the announcements.
Yep.
or I put them in Purple's DM group on Twitter if you're not there, or you can just message me either on Twitter, Discord, or Blue Sky.
Mage, I'm going to ask you a question about your locale, your geography and things. Do you guys know about flagstone or Lannonstone?
Flagstone or Lannon?
Flagstone is the most common name as a rock that's used in outdoor landscaping.
Yeah. Well, that's why it was called flagstone, because
Well,
it was used
of
to
course
hold
you
up
know about it
flagpoles.
because you're from here,
Yep.
and Mage is not.
I wasn't familiar with the name, but I recognize what you're talking about.
Okay.
Hey, Sammy.
I forgot why I brought it up, but
Okay, sorry.
Anyway,
I remember.
Oh.
Your bumblebees. You can build a bumblebee attractant. You take a bunch of Lannonstone, flat stones like that, and you build a loose wall with them. It doesn't have to be big. A foot or two would probably suffice, and have crevices and stuff in it where they can go and make their hives. They love those areas for hives. We had a big Lannonstone thing that went across our yard, which was way too huge, and there was like 4 different bumblebee nests in it. They absolutely love it.
I was going to build something else for more of the solo bees that tend to be around here. But I also have one other thing I was thinking about maybe doing a live stream on my pop culture channel. Maybe this weekend sometime. Let me get the link for that.
Okay, what were you going to be talking about? An anime-related thing or what?
Just random stuff. I'll probably cover some anime on there. I'll do some singing and whatever happens to come to mind.
Okay.
There's my pop culture channel. Go check it out. It's woefully undersubbed. So.
Okay, now to pop the culture, how long do we leave in the microwave for before it burns?
Oh, you don't want to go over 20 minutes.
Okay.
I just subscribed.
All right.
Hey, Jasper.
Hey, Jasper.
I have a few. I'm trying to get back into the role of making videos. I figured while I'm at it, I'll maybe do some live streaming in there. I have a few ideas for some videos. Like maybe my fan theory of how to get out of Uzumaki's spiral into horror might be an interesting one to do.
Okay, you'd have to explain to me what that is, but anyway, Jenny, you got any last words before we go?
Yes, I know it's been a short life, and generally naive life, but it's getting serious now, and I hope I can last through next week before they take me and put me in one of the camps.
Yeah, well, week by week, but at least we're living in one of the safer states. So hopefully that will at least take longer to get here.
No, I guess I'm 30 miles from Iowa. How safe can I be?
So I have been negligent the last few weeks about not thanking the people who support us. So we want to thank Kitty the Atheist, Robert X, Greg Hartwick, excuse me, Sandy Shore, Skitzcrasher, and a very stable milking stool. Oh, and Regios. Sorry, I thought that was the last one. So we appreciate it, and like I said, I used the money that you had sent over the last several months to renew the StreamYards for another year. So that's basically where most of the money goes, and occasionally I get to buy something new for my computer. If not, the worst thing that happens is it may go to cat treats.
Not wasted money.
Well, I think that if I did not give them cat treats for, say, 3 days, that you probably would not hear from me again.
Oh, yeah. That is very important then.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks everybody in the chat for your input and your comments.
We love you guys. Pray for democracy.
Yeah, and that's yeah, we just got to hold on. We've got to resist wherever we can. And we've got to hope that we can get our country back eventually.
That's the problem with those dictator types. They're easy to bring in and hard to get rid of.
Yep.
They're like dandelions.
So, and I hope everybody stays warm wherever you are. So bye-bye all.
Good night.